And we're bringing it back to just the two. Smaller, tighter, more intense comic books that you love, that we want to share with you. It's Casey, Morgan, Zanadu Comics. Where are the comics always? They smell very good.
Yeah,
very, very good.
As they should.
As they should. In fact, let's talk about that right at the top there.
Well, yeah.
That looks pretty awesome. I've been very, very excited for this.
Particularly dank comic right here.
Yes. A little sticky sometimes, and, it's not always a good thing.
Yeah.
Where it's coming from.
The stickiness could be any number of things.
It could.
But this is the premiere of the second season of Kaiju Max. From Oni Press and Xander Cannon, also Jason Fisher.
Is he on this
Yeah,
too?
he's the Flatter. He is Flatman Supreme on this one. This is the second series in an ongoing tale of monsters, incarceration, and other unsavory things. We've seen in the first mini-series what happens, as you said, behind bars of a giant island kaiju prison. But what happens when you get out? It's not any less dark, honestly.
Probably not.
Everything was already totally messed up beyond repair in the first series. It gets even worse in this one, as the main character, Electrogore, I think is that kaiju's name, and one of the two Gargantua twins break out of prison to go stay with the other Gargantua twin, who's gone straight. And we sort of see a bit of his life and, what you really do as an ex-monster convict.
What can you do?
It's not bright, honestly.
Fing Fang Foom, dude, he had to get a job in a Chinese restaurant. That's some crap right there, alright? There's no love for monsters. Monsters get no respect. Like Rodney Dangerfield. Anyway. Yes, it's finally here. The internet has been talking about it for what feels like 6 months now, because it's probably been about 6 months.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Grant Morrison comes to heavy metal. He brings psychedelic smiling skull faces. Be scared, be very, very happy though. Because this features not only a Grant Morrison story, but it's drawn by the man Ben Marra. That's right, the dude that brought you Gangster Rap Posse and the incredibly insane adventures of Maureen Dowd and Lincoln Washington Free Man and other true, genuine classics of the genre. I'm really not messing around. This dude is freaking brilliant. Along with Inky Bilal, Massimiliano Frazzato, who I love, amazing Italian artist, is back in this as well. Man who did Keepers of the Mazer. But this is return to form. Heavy metal has not looked this good in many, many months. I'm very excited to see what Morrison's Third Eye has planned for the publishing schedule with this. Hopefully something beyond just hardcovers of all the issues. Thanks.
And something a little more familiar to readers out there. You may have seen a movie at some point between, now and last Friday with a bunch of dudes in tights beating each other up, running around airports, swinging around. Does that ring any bells?
Superman, Batman?
The other one, actually. Captain America Civil War was released last Friday.
That's right, yeah.
It's kind of a big deal. And there are a bunch of breakout characters in it, besides just Captain America and Iron Man, dueling it out over various things.
Is it spilled coffee grounds or something like that?
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Isn't that really what it is?
I don't know. Sinks get real. When you gotta share a space with other people, that stuff matters. But my big breakout character, personally, was the Black Panther. He was awesome. And, as you may have known, he recently got his own comic book. The first issue sold out pretty much immediately. Not even past that first Wednesday. But, we have a second issue. Oh my god! Ta-Nehisi Coates, Brian Stelfreeze, Laura Martin, colorist getting cover credit there, always nice, bring you the downfall of a kingdom. And, funny enough, we have issue 1 back in, so you can finally read it, maybe.
1 and 2!
Another awesome star of that movie, who has his own comic right now, The Vision. This series has been creepy, slow-paced, emotional, and this issue is kind of taking it back a little bit, to tell a tale of The Vision's first marriage. Which is really, really, really not a simple thing, not a happy thing.
Wait,
like a lot of marriages in real life.
Beyond Scarlet Witch?
Yeah, Scarlet Witch. Well, he's got a robot wife now.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing.
Well, I'm hoping that he didn't get married again prior to that. Oh god,
no, we don't need that kind of retcon.
All right,
we have the Avengers book for that.
Right. And there's even a very beaming quote from Ta-Nehisi Coates on that. On that value or that.
Look at that, the best comic going on right now.
Sales actually kind of say that, too. From the digital side of DC and the CW, right? That's the CW? Yeah?
I think that's CBS, actually.
Whatever. CBS, it is CBS. It's all the same. It's on the television. It's on that magical box that used to be really important before we got computers. But the reason I'm talking about Adventures of Supergirl is because it's like 30 pages of Bengal. Bengal, or Bengal San, whatever you want to call him, amazing French illustrator, highly influenced by Japanese stuff, is very kinetic, very fast-paced, really great at doing kind of the superhero stuff, especially with a character like Kara. He's got really great emotive faces with her, and a lot of very just straight-up fun, like comic book cartoony stuff that you're not going to get from the TV show, but if you are into the TV show, this will give you a glimpse into just what is possible with the same, same source material in a different medium. It's very, very cool. Standalone one issue by Bengal. Always buy Bengal. Always buy Bengal.
And over at Image, I've got the second issue here of The Fix. Possibly one of the most underrated recent releases from Image. This is Nick Spencer and Steve Lieber, the creative team of The Superior Foes of Spider-Man, which was probably the best crime book not published by Image. That saw a bunch of washed-up supervillains kind of deciding, hey, we're gonna do something with our lives.
Hell yeah.
This is a couple corrupt cops being like, hey, we're gonna do absolutely nothing with our lives.
And pee on the Hollywood sign.
It's awesome. So much happened in the first issue that I can't really give you much more of a rundown than that. You're gonna have to trust me. Go Google Superior Foes, read 2 pages that come up on Google Images. You'll be sold on this book. Trust me.
If they can make D-list Spider-Man villains cool, then you're already batting 1,000 on any other.
Shocker has always been cool.
This is true.
Honestly.
Quilt Man is awesome. Anybody that wraps themselves in quilt, yeah, you gotta rock that. From one of our absolutely, utterly favorite people in the world that do comic books, Farrell Dalrymple. That's right, Pop Gun War. I'm gonna say this is kind of his first breakout thing, or is it as early in his career, I want to say. Certainly the first thing I saw from him. I like to say Farrell Dalrymple's kind of like Miyazaki if he was born in a space ghetto. This is a truly moving and haunting tale of young children and just basically people who inhabit this strange city where there happen to be strange mutations and some wings and some mutants and magic, but none of that really matters at all. It's the fact that these characters are so utterly emotionally real that you just connect with them no matter what age, creed, race, whatever you are. Recent Pop Gun story was just serialized in Island. Holy crap, that was amazing. This is good, obviously, but man, Farrell elevated this story and took it to whole new levels while still tying it back into here. So now you get a full-size version of this book, which I think is out of print, probably. The other one, the small one's out of print. But do yourself a favor, buy this comic. You need it in your life because you need some weirdness. And this is what this is. This is really emotionally weird and beautiful. So yes.
Alright, and over at DC this week, because let's not forget about those other 2 big guys.
Hey man, I talked about DC Comics.
Batman and Superman, man. Who needs Supergirl when you got Superman, man? 2 of them, man.
Man.
Can I say man anymore?
Look, bro.
Bro. We have both Action Comics and Batman ending their current volumes this week before, starting over for DC Rebirth. But whatever.
Rebirthing.
Speaking of Rebirth, Action Comics is playing a big role in sort of setting the tone for Superman comics to come. We've got not only the normal New 52 Superman, not only the Lois and Clark Superman who is soon to take over the main titles in DC Rebirth, we've also got this weird energy Superman flying around, being totally emotional and messing with people.
I can't keep it straight at all.
It's sort of like, back when they had the Sand Superman for 5 minutes there. That type of deal. Pete Tomasi is playing it real weird.
Oh, is it Pete Tomasi?
Yeah.
Pete
He's been writing this
always really good,
this last arc to lead into his ongoing arc in
very excited for that new Superman. Gotta say.
Yeah, it's
Doug
gonna be
Mahnke,
good.
yeah.
And Batman has a special one-off issue by James Tynion IV and Riley Rossmo that's sort of tying back into how Becky Cloonan or all these other sort of more unusual artists would take a little one-shot issue after the big arcs were finished up. They're rounding off the series here with some flashbacks, some new stuff moving forward with the new design. Just a really good, cap to the series for issue 52.
It's nice to see Rossmo on a big book like that.
His Constantine run has been really awesome.
Yeah. And the aforementioned Island. is finally back. Anthology headed by Brandon Graham, Emma Rios, has been on hiatus for a couple of months, giving me time to finally catch up. Yay! And I did read through all these. I am so excited for the next part of Matt Sheehan and Malachi Ward's Ancestor.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about weird. I mean, like, you got Farrell over here in this emotionally weird thing, and you got these kids over in this whole other dimension of emotionally weird. Their pacing and the way that they just kind of bring you into the story, it's highly unnerving and unsettling, and you find yourself like looking over your shoulder even though there's nothing coming there, and you're just kind of staring at this comic, and things are getting a little closer, and then people are dying in strange ways, and they're acting like sheep, and there's strange metaphysical changes going on. You're like, oh my god, I don't know what's happening. And then it ends, and it's this horrible emptiness where you don't know what happens next. Now you do! And this also features Johnny Christmas, who is a very, very great illustrator, made bank off of Sheltered. Good for you, sir. And also doing, debuting his new comic in here, which is
Firebug,
which is very cool. And I think he has even something else coming out from Image, but I'm not entirely sure.
That'll be cool.
And then there's this great pinup by Simon and Brandon in the back, which they were selling at a print at Emerald City this past year. So yes, very happy this is back. Island.
Yeah, I've been really excited for that issue. Yeah. Honestly, Ancestor is probably my favorite strip out of that whole series so far.
It's so heavy. It's so good. It works broken up, actually. Like I said, there's that emptiness, but it works.
No, they're really taking advantage of the serialization of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another big weight that's finally over from Image. My last book of the week, Southern Bastards 14. Not only has it been months since the last issue,
I thought that was on hiatus,
but it's been even longer since we saw Roberta Tubb, who's finally coming back to Craw County. We haven't seen any Tubbs since Earl got, bludgeoned to death in the middle of the street in issue 4. We saw Roberta, maybe 2 panels since then, just, on the phone each time. But it's finally happening, and she is bringing the beatdowns. I believe this is also the last issue of this current arc, so we'll be looking forward to a new trade very soon.
Yay for Southern Bastards. And my final pick of the week, a bit of a blast from the past in Turbo HD remix style. X-Men, Mutant Genesis 2.0. We're going to start this off with this recoloring. I'm not big on recoloring, but for modern recoloring, this is really not too bad. I will say it changes the dynamic of it, but it's almost like seeing Akira in color and then Akira in black and white. It's kind of an interesting thing. But this is the quintessential X-Men comic. This is one of the comics that founded Image, basically. This is what Jim Lee did, where he made such an impact that he basically defined the style for an entire generation. There's nobody that's my age, about 30 or 25, wherever, that does not remember the X-Men animated series, any of that. All of that was based off of the work in this book. This is X-Men 1 through 12. This features Omega Red. They've got all the pinups. This is the lifeblood in my veins. This is the absolute. This is it. Jim Lee, X-Men. This is it. And it's affordable. Yeah, it's $25. You really should buy all the things that we just told you about because they're really freaking awesome this week.
And there are even more we didn't have time to talk about. So, just get your butt in here, basically.
That's right. And keep it tuned to Facebook and Instagram. We'll be posting up other things that maybe you have missed and teasing you about things that you didn't even know you wanted. So, we'll see you guys next week.